Hi YouTube. So today I'm going to be talking about Sun, Trine, or Sextile Pluto and synastry. So Sun, Trine, Pluto, synastry, Sun, Sextile, Pluto, synastry. Now, before we get started, synastry is basically when you take two people's birth charts, put them together and put them on you can overlay them, and you're basically going to get all these aspects between you and the other person's planets. And what this is going to do is indicate the strengths and the weaknesses in your relationships. It's going to tell you your level of compatibility, what you guys struggle with, what needs to be worked on, and what you guys are together, the energies that you guys are when you're together, and how you guys behave around each other. So when Pluto falls in contact with someone else's planet, there's automatically going to be feelings of intensity and passion. Passion comes later on as the relationship strengthens, but instantly you're going to feel a type of magnetic attraction towards each other. So Sun is going to be really attracted to Pluto, and Pluto is going to be very receptive of the Sun's admiration, and the Sun's mesmerized by Pluto because Pluto to them is mysterious and it's dark and all of this. It's things that they want to uncover. There's also a sense of vulnerability here because the Sun is going to be able to tell Pluto all of their deepest, darkest secrets and all of that, or their needs and their wants, what they are good at as a person, what they struggle with. They're going to be able to open up and tell all of these things to Pluto very easily. The Sun person will. And Pluto, because Pluto's traditionally ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio is a very possessive, very analytical, very smart, very detail-oriented, loves information. They're like little investigators. So the Pluto person is going to act like this. They're going to be able to gather information from the Sun person, and they're going to be able to already know how to manipulate the situation when needed. Now, when this happens, the relationship is kind of in the hands of the Pluto person because the Pluto person is going to be able to know all of these things about the Sun person very quickly. Pluto's gathers information very quickly when Pluto's interested in the Sun, when the feelings are being reciprocated. And they most likely are, because with trines and sextiles, what makes this relationship so powerful, but yet so it makes it intense, but it makes it very powerful. And here's why: because Pluto is able to gather all of this information on the Sun, but unlike an opposition or something, or a square, the Pluto person isn't going to use it against them. There's not going to be a lot of power struggles. The power struggles only come in when Pluto feels as if they're not the number one person in the Sun's life. When Pluto gets jealous, basically, then they have the power to destroy the Sun's ego. The Sun is all about ego, and the Pluto person is able to boost the Sun person's ego because the Sun loves Pluto and it wants Pluto's attention. It wants to be seen by Pluto. It wants to be with Pluto. So when Pluto gives attention to the Sun, it is increasing the Sun's ego. Pluto understands that he has the power, or she has the power, to basically boost your ego. So when they want to make you feel good, they're going to be able to say all these nice things, whisper all these things. And don't get me wrong, that's all genuine. What they're telling you is very genuine because there's a sense of vulnerability here. But don't forget that they also know how to dock your ego down. So if you make the Pluto person jealous, if the Sun person makes Pluto feel weak or manipulated or undermined, that Pluto person is able to dock down the Sun person's ego, and that will leave the Sun feeling hurt. People don't like to have our egos kind of hurt, you know? So it's not going to be so much feelings that are hurt, but so much more ego. It's an egotistical vibe that you got here because it's the Sun. Now, a good thing about this relationship is that what makes it powerful is that Pluto isn't going to always destroy the sun. There's enough love here, and there's enough mutual respect and appreciation for each other that, unlike the opposition or the square, the Pluto person isn't just going to be like, I need to be upper hand, I need to be upper hand, I need to be upper hand. The Pluto person already is upper hand naturally. It's more of a natural flow, a natural magnetism towards each other, and not so much being at war with each other. What makes it powerful is that the Pluto person has the capability to destroy the Sun person if they wanted to, but most likely won't if it's not necessary. And with that comes a lot of healing. And if the Pluto person is able to communicate their feelings instead of just being vindictive and jealous, then this can cause a relationship to grow. And when there's mutual respect, understanding, and there's a lot of loyalty that's put into this relationship, then you'll find that there's a quality that will turn from trying to figure each other out. Like in the beginning, you're trying to figure each other out. You're playing this cat and dog game, kind of. It's mysterious, it's enticing, it's passionate. But then as the relationship as more time in the relationship passes, you're going to notice the themes of Pluto are going to kick in. And the Plutonian themes have to do with death, transformation, rebirth, all of that stuff. And it's going to bring out, it's going to be like pulling the roots out of the person's psyche. The Sun person is going to be able to do this to the Sun person. It's kind of like pulling the roots out, showing you things, just like a traditional Pluto aspect would. But why the sextile and the trine is positive when it comes to Plutonian aspects is because it's going to be like a deeper exploration of each other instead of a traumatic, pulling out traumatic things and stuff. It's going to be able to pull out traumatic experiences and past experiences without making you feel like crazy, if that makes sense. Because a lot of negative Plutonian aspects are going to pull the roots out, and once the roots are pulled out, the vulnerability is exposed, and when the vulnerability is exposed, no one wants to be seen as vulnerable. Nobody wants to have your whole like things seen, or your emotional things, or your childhood, or your past revealed. So that would cause power struggles, and that would cause like people putting up walls and breaking them down and stuff. But here with the trine and the sextile, you're going to see pulling out roots, and yet a lot of understanding and compassion. And when you're able to open up to your partner in this relationship, it's just going to grow the bond. You're going to find that it's going to be like a domino effect. Whereas when you open up, then the other person's going to open up, and then it's just going to keep like falling, and you guys are going to be able to understand and know each other and grow a lot. You guys are going to probably be interested in similar things that have to do with like studies or surface level areas. Let's see what else. The Pluto person is going to be able to bring out a new type of intimacy in the Sun person, an intimacy that the Sun person may have never felt, a very charismatic, a very adoration, a very adored feeling that the Sun person is going to get. And this is going to bring up a lot because the Sun person might have had like a bad past relationship, and what this is going to do, Pluto's going to probably bring out and pull out some of those roots, but it's also going to like flourish, and it's also going to like pour its love into the cracks that you had broken in your heart, and it's going to fill it with transformative juice, what I like to call it. Yeah. And so it's going to be a bond it's going to be a very close bond. It's going to be very hard to break. This is a very power couple relationship. The intense bond and stuff is going to be felt by everyone around you, especially close families and friends. This could be is very likely to be a soulmate connection. I'm not saying that it's karmic, and I'm not saying that it's a twin flame. I'm saying that it's a possibility that this could be a soulmate relationship if it is treated like right. Also know that let's just like go over some things to get a general concept and a general idea of what this entire video is about. There are themes of death, transformation, rebirth. You may go through some traumatic experiences together. Just know that if you guys work on it, instead of using the manipulative powers that you both can use against each other, instead of doing that, just use understanding and use compassion and empathy for the relationship to flourish into a really tight bond. There's going to be a lot of passionate, mesmerizing, magnetizing, yeah, there's going to be a lot of jealous feelings also. So those are all themes. All those words I just said. All of those are themes of the relationship. Magnetism is going to draw you two together like this as soon as you guys meet each other. It's going to feel really powerful. It's going to feel like a spark's lit off. You're going to want to know more of each other. You're going to learn a lot from each other. You're going to learn a lot through each other and with each other through your experiences that you have together. Be receptive to each other. Be understanding. Don't be manipulative and jealous. Make sure to communicate, because this can be a very, very, very powerful relationship when it is nurtured. Yeah, so that's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I wasn't too repetitive. Probably was, but it's only to emphasize what's important. I opened my Instagram and Twitter for DMs. If you have any personal questions, just know that the questions have to be about a personal aspect that you have. So let's say you have a question, you have Moon, Trine, Venus in your chart, and you don't know what that is. You can ask me that question, but please don't ask me questions regarding relationship advice and things that have to do with myself. Don't ask me any personal questions about myself. I wanted to have these DMs open because I figured that, like, when it comes to aspects and personal questions, you may not always want to leave them in the comment section. You know what I mean? Because you may not feel comfortable with it. So if you'd rather just send me a DM, you can do that, or you can comment below here. It doesn't really matter. Make sure any questions that you send are appropriate. And yeah, I have a cool video coming out soon regarding crystal healing, crystals in general, where you can buy good crystals, how to look for honest sellers. All of that's going to be up soon. It's like in the process of being edited and all of that. So if you're curious about that, just stay tuned for later. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.